Well, welcome everyone. It's so great to be back with you all talking about my favorite superfood that has C60 Evo, does wonders for me and makes me safe. That's my new affirmation. It does wonders for me and makes me safe because it's a superfood. And it was named after one of my favorite friends, Buckminster Fuller. I used to hang out with him, and you're on the Exopolitics TV, which is part of the World Good News Network, you're on the World, which is part of the World Good News Network, which Buckminster Fuller and I, along with the Futures of Barbara Marx Hubbard, set up in the mid 70s at the University of Cincinnati.
Wow.
So this is all, it's all, you know, the future leads to itself. The future leads to itself. Now, I have prepared a couple of short videos, 10 minutes each, but just to show interspersed there, to share my great discovery that C60 Evo is a superfood and does wonders for me and makes me feel safe. But would you all like to talk about how C60 Evo does wonders for you and makes you feel safe, and in what ways it does so?
C60 Evo does wonders for me, and it makes me feel safe. I love that. Uh-oh, we've got somebody echoing.
Yeah, there was Patty Greer and Gail Ross was just trying to get hold of me. I don't know why.
Uh-oh.
But go ahead.
He wants to party with us, but it's our party today. So I just want to say that a lot of people comment on what C60 Evo does for hair. I'm looking at the two of you. One has grown really long. The other one is growing straight up. We've got one that defies gravity and the other one that grows faster than a train. And here I am Patty curly hair that's wet, and you'll probably watch it go like wet curly hair does. But got here on time, racing around. I was stopped briefly because somebody needed to share a devastating story of what's going on. And C60 is the remedy, in my opinion. But we're going to have a lot of people accidentally falling down in the next 6 months to a year. We know that the thing in the arm is causing a lot of people to fall down. That's all I can say. But it happened to somebody in our family that is 30 years old, just had a stroke, heart attack, blood clots, fell off her scooter. And now who knows if she's going to make it. And she was a beautiful, healthy girl weeks before the thing in the arm. So a lot of people are talking about how this product has more than 172 times the power of vitamin C. It's a mega antioxidant, antiviral, anti-many things, anti-aging, ultimately helps you sleep tremendously well. And as we're going to be dealing with a lot of people going through really difficult health issues because of this interesting experiment, a lot of people are saying that our products are going to be a very important remedy. Now, we don't make medical claims ever. I will not. Chris won't either. But I certainly am encouraging anybody that's taken the experimental thing in the arm to be doing really important zinc, whatever all those other things are that people recommend. For me, this is what I do, and I feel safe. I didn't get sick. I haven't been sick in years. I think I had a cold maybe a year ago that lasted a day, but I welcome it because we have to blow our system through. For me, I take this every day, and I'm not scared. I've been around a lot of sick people. I don't worry because my antibodies, my immunity, I feel like I'm a powerhouse. So I also, like you, feel safe and kind of laugh at how big my hair gets. And I really appreciate this product too.
Yeah, and we have William Noel in the chat says, how many milliliters a day?
Yeah, so I'll share my routine, like what
Oh,
I do
good.
with our products on a
Sure.
regular basis, and then talk about what we typically recommend. So I start my day off with there's a recipe called Bulletproof Coffee. It includes, and I've actually I think I got Patty hooked on Bulletproof Coffee now. So you take coffee, you put in purified butter called ghee, and then you put in some MCT. Normally in the original recipe, that MCT doesn't have the ESS60 molecule in it. Of course, when Patty and I put the MCT in, we have an MCT product that has our ESS60 molecule in it, and we actually include that. While that's mixing, I'll go and take a teaspoon and a half of our olive oil product. So we're taking a little bit more than a daily dose, maybe a lot more. I don't know if you just saw, I took another serving just now. It's been kind of a long day. And anytime I have a long day, I know just take a little bit more of the C60 Evo and I'll be good. For lunch on that same day, so I got the coffee, really have about a teaspoon and a half of MCT, and then a teaspoon and a half of our olive oil. For lunch, I'll take about 2 teaspoons of our avocado product and put that on my salad. I have a salad most days. Our typical recommended serving size is 5 mils, which is actually a teaspoon. So that's kind of what is on the bottle. And, when you have kind of unfettered access, you tend to take more. And it's a joy. And Patty, I don't know if you've noticed this, to see when people write in and say, hey, I was on a 1 bottle per month subscription. Can you up that to 2, please?
I've seen a lot of them. Yeah. I think the question he was asking, because somebody wrote today a comment to us, how many milligrams per milliliters are in a teaspoon? I think that's the question. How much C60 are they getting in this spoonful of oil?
Well, yeah, I mean, milligrams per milliliter is on the bottle. It's 0.8 milligrams per milliliter. If you multiply that times 5, you end up with about 4 milligrams of ESS60.
Okay, so per teaspoon, there's 4
milligrams.
So per tablespoon, which you and I take, or more, there's 10.
Well, tablespoons, 3 teaspoons.
Oh, I thought it was 2.5.
So you're looking at 12. No, it's 3 full teaspoons in a tablespoon.
Oh, wow. Doesn't look like it, does it? Right. Well, 12. Yeah. How much do you, Alfred, you used to take a teeny amount.
It was on drops.
Yeah. I know. I used to take drops, and now I'm a heaping. I have a tablespoon, an actual tablespoon, that is a tasting spoon used by coffee connoisseurs. Coffee buyers use this special teaspoon. You have to go to a coffee specialty store to buy it. It's huge. And that is the tablespoon that I use. It's probably 2 tablespoons. And that is the tablespoon that I use. So I'm probably up to the 12
milligrams, yeah.
Milligrams, yeah. And I maybe it's the function of the environmental stress that we're under, but I find that that's the amount of the superfood that my body wants in order for the super performance that I'm find myself doing. And yeah.
Well, and I think your story is interesting because you really, I think, and you guys would have to correct me, I think you tried C60 in the past. You maybe weren't that interested. Patty convinced you. You started trying drops. Like I remember some of our first conversations, you were taking 2 to 3 drops a day. And then at some point, we're kind of advised, hey, maybe you shouldn't be taking this. So you stopped it for some period of time, and then you just came back with a vengeance. I think that's a pretty amazing. So maybe you can walk us through that whole story.
Well, the thing is that I started out with a dropper, but see, my body is very sensitive, and I started out with a dropper because we weren't using C60 Evo.
Mm.
We were using another brand, and which Patty can tell you all about, right? That brand.
No,
She,
you won't.
yeah, she could,
No, I mean,
but
she
she
could.
refused not to.
She could. And I think that in that brand there were bad things, because if I took a lot of that brand, I would start speeding, as though there was almost speed in it or something. So that's why I was just using a little bit. And now what happened is I switched over, and uh, uh, now I am, you know, I got my body. When I switched over now was around the time of that the peace started, the whole pandemic, etc. And I can talk about it because I have a certificate from the Harvard School of Public Health. So it's a perfectly acceptable subject for me to talk about professionally. And so I've always seen C60 Evo as a prophylaxis against the pandemic, because you're dealing with an antioxidant 172 times more powerful than vitamin C. You're dealing with an antiviral that has been used against HIV even. And a lot of the research that's out there, and I have to read all this research because I'm a judge in a tribunal of conscience that has found that they've put HIV and AIDS in some of the jabs that they're using now. I mean, these are war criminals that have designed this stuff. And I'm a war crimes judge, so for me, it's like, that's a term that we use all the time because that's what we deal with. And so for me, C60 Evo is something that I would, as a matter of course, I'm going to be taking that, because what do you do when war criminals are running loose in the society and they've given a war crimes potion to 43% of the human race? Well, you take C60 Evo to stay safe. It's totally logical. In fact, I made a 10-minute video that's science-based that maybe this is an appropriate time to show it. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Let me just put it right here.
And I'll tell you, Chris and I both took a big hit. We always do before shows. It's like, just kind of gives you that perk you need, brings your brain right, present. Makes a difference.
So I just have to bring that file up to here, and I had it in the right place all along. So I'm going to put it right here. There, number one. I'm going to open this. So I'm Alfred Lamont Weber, and this is another short video as to how C60 Evo helps me do wonders and stay safe. And this one is based on science. And so here you can see that C60 Evo has launched ESS60, carbon 60, that increases the lifespan of mammals by 90% and is safe for human consumption. It's a superfood. I mean, look at me. I'm going to be 80 years old, and I have this incredible shiny long hair. I mean, it's just amazing. I have the hair of a 25-year-old. My physician told me that I have the hemoglobin of a 25-year-old. C60evo.com has revolutionized the world of the carbon-60 molecule, itself awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1996, that in laboratory experiments almost doubled the lifespan of mammals, increasing lab rats' lifespan by 90% by developing ESS60 that for the first time is a C60 that is safe for human consumption. Life extension in mammals by C60 was demonstrated in the following scientific study in Paris. Quote, the prolongation of lifespan in rats by repeated oral administration of fullerene, May 17, 2020. Incidentally, fullerenes are named after Buckminster Fuller at the University of Cincinnati to found the World Good News Network, of which Exopolitics TV is a part. So you're listening to a network co-founded by Buckminster Fuller that the C60 carbon-60 molecule superfood was named after. Now, is that wonders or what? Recently, on May 17, 2021, the UK Daily Mail headline, quote, the secret to a long life, genetic treatment that extends the lifespan of insects, flies by 9%. So this was the headline. There was a new genetic treatment that extended the lifespan of insects by 9%. Well, C60 Evo has already, in peer-reviewed laboratory demonstrated studies, have extended the lifespan of mammals, not insects, but mammals that are much more complicated organisms, 10 times longer by 90%. Is that a wonder? And so we're mammals, so there's a life extension, and there are already studies going on that demonstrate that those who are taking C60 Evo, their life is being extended. So the people who are into the positive timeline, hey, that's what you want, because we're in the age of Aquarius. So that's part of why I'm taking C60 Evo, which makes us, gives us wonders and makes us safe. C60 proprietaries, C60evo.com's proprietary ESS60 version now makes available to every day human consumption the C60 molecules known as the fullerene, after Buckminster Fuller, we mentioned that, unique properties of demonstrated life extension. This is science-based, as an antioxidant, 172 times more powerful than vitamin C. C60evo.com has been shown to be 172 times more powerful than vitamin C. It's 172 times more effective against antioxidant radicals than vitamin C, is shown in this article. And there's the link to the article. It's been used as an antiviral to treat HIV. We're right in the middle of the pandemic, 2020, 2021. I mean, this is logic, folks. You use a powerful antioxidant, 172 times more powerful than vitamin C. Vitamin C is one of the vitamins you're supposed to be taking as prophylaxis against the pandemic. So you take the one that's 172 times, plus there's a lot of science out there that in the so-called shot, everybody knows what I'm talking about, there's HIV in there. Why? Because, you know, Fauci put it in there. He's Faust, he's not Fauci. And it's an antiviral in there. As a promoter of mental clarity, I'm very mentally clear, and that's why it does good things for me. And on other videos, we'll show you how it helps me do wonders as an 80-year-old, a proven promoter of better sleep. ESS60 neutralizes free radicals from cell metabolization and external toxins to help minimize inflammation and maximize detoxification. These are all very good things. People report better sleep, more energy and flexibility, renewed mental clarity when they take C60Evo.com's ESS60. So that is why C60 Evo helps you do wonders and keep you safe. Here's some customer testimonials. One customer writes, "My mom has been taking C60 Evo for a month. She has degenerative arthritis of the spine, nerve damage, muscle atrophy, low energy mitochondrial damage. She says she thinks the C60 Evo is working because she is not in as much pain." That is quite interesting. I ordered a case for myself today, and there's the thing. How does C60 Evo work? C60 Evo is a nano-oxidant that can neutralize free radicals to slow down aging and assist the body healing. Free radicals damage DNA, cell membranes, and other parts of cells by stealing electrons from other molecules, damaging them in the process. Antioxidants neutralize free radicals by giving up some of their own electrons, breaking a chain reaction. While foods can have antioxidant properties, and vitamin C is noted as a very strong antioxidant, the term antioxidant actually refers to a chemical property rather than a nutritional property. C60 EVO is a nano antioxidant that is actually 172 times stronger than vitamin C. C60 Evo has a unique atomic structure, a carbon-60 molecule. It's a superfood with multiple sides to stabilize many free radicals. C60 Evo is safe for human consumption. It is the formulation of C60 used in the original study that showed it doubles the lifespan of rats, and it has been processed for human consumption. C60 Evo delivers pure C60 direct from the lab to the public. It is the evolution and a breakthrough in the manufacturing process. And it has been so successful that it received the Nobel Prize in 1996. Now, where is it available? And here's where you have to go. You have to go to C60Evo.com/AlfredLW. And you can save an additional 10% by using the special code EV and then my initials ALW. And if you get a subscription, that's an additional 20%. So that's 30% off. And how is it available? Well, you can get it in the bottles. You can get it in olive oil, which has the maximum concentration, in avocado oil, coconut oil, and you can get it for your pets. You can get an advanced facial serum, which I've used, and you can get it as well for the lip balm, which is a very good use, especially for people like me who are talking all the time and educating. So there we go. So C60 Evo does wonders for you, and I can attest to that, and it keeps you safe. Thank you. I'm Alfred Lammervant Weber. Go to C60Evo.com/AlfredLW. Enter in the special code EVALW. If you do a subscription, you get 30% off, and you can actually get a month's supply for $75 a month. For $75 a month, you'll get into Superfood and you'll go into hyperspace. Believe me, take a look at some of my other presentations, and you'll see how it's brought me into super performance. Thank you.
Your
Okay.
superfood to hyperspace, brought to you by Buckminster Fullerene. Buckminster Fuller.
It was fun
Okay.
watching you watch yourself. That was entertaining. You're on both sides of the screen, but yeah, thank you. That was a lot of
Yeah.
information.
So anyway, did I do a quick study, Patty?
You did. That was very thorough, and
Yeah.
thank you for doing that. I mean, you tried to stop because a psychic or a medical intuitive said, time to slow down. You've done it for years, and then you missed it so bad you went back. And we don't want to get people thinking that means you get hooked on it. No, it's like if you don't ever do supplements and all of a sudden you begin, you notice things, you're feeling better. So as you enhance your life with any kind of new something positive, you're going to feel the benefits. But to be doing something this strong, everybody notices pretty much. We've had very few people not make a comment in a couple of days. The only thing you left out was the people that don't like the taste of olive oil, which has the maximum C60, ESS 60. We have capsules. And
Oh yeah.
so for people that don't like the taste of olive oil, the caps. And in my opinion, I don't like olive oil, but I love our Evo because I know what it does. Small price. I chase it with a sip of water and it's done. I don't mind the taste now. I'm used to it and I appreciate it. But the caps, I can't believe how many we're selling. I had no idea that many people would want capsules, but I think we're selling as many bottles of caps.
Like for example, if you were going to take, say, a teaspoon of olive oil in the morning, how many caps would you take?
Instead of a teaspoon, you would take 6 caps. And Chris says, do 3 with breakfast, 3 with lunch, or 6 at the same time. But it takes 6 to be a teaspoon. The lab tested 22 products, and they tested a top-selling caplet or capsule in the past, and it said you only need 2. That was awesome. But when they tested in the lab, they said, well, to get a teaspoon like ours, you would need 20.
Well, actually, that wasn't even a test we did. Like their own proclaimed concentration and how much they had in each of the caplets. Like that did even if we believe that their concentration was accurate, because I that particular brand we never tested. But they were saying they needed only 2, and you just do a calculation based on the size of that caplet and the concentration they were claiming. So if they can't figure out what's in a proper serving, I'm not too confident that they can figure out how to get to the right concentration. It would need 20. And it's one of the frustrating things about, what's the best word? The lack of scientific rigor in our industry is that there are lots of products out there. We tested 22 of them. They don't have the concentration of C60, let alone the high quality of ESS 60 that they even claim on their own bottles. There's lots of people. In fact, we have influencers who, when we approach them, like, oh, I already tried C60 and C60 didn't work at all for me. Yeah, because you tried one of those other brands. So there's a lot of brands out there ruining the experience and ruining the potential benefits that people could be experiencing because they're woefully low concentration. One of the things I want to point about the video that Alfred just showed, he was reading off a press release, so that's pretty awesome. We love to have good press. That's a press release. He also did mention arthritis, and I've got to add in here that the FDA has not evaluated our product. It is not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any specific disease. And I think, Alfred, you did a great job of kind of going through, breaking down in really a short, 10 minutes there, and a short kind of 2-page press release, the details about really C60 Evo and the evolution into ESS 60 that people should know about.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I was talking with Patty yesterday, and I was saying, well, how can I really communicate to my audience and to the people out there what should I really communicate? And what she said is like, communicate how the difference that this has really made to you. And so today I made 3 different videos. Now we can't show them today, and we won't, because there isn't enough time, and I think it would overwhelm everybody. But I did one. The first one that we just saw is the science, because I'm a very science-oriented person. So you've got to convince me with the science before I won't get into anything. But then the second one I did on the basis of my qualification as a graduate psychotherapist. I mean, this thing is a superfood. This thing does wonders. It's not, it's one thing that I can say, hey, look at my hair. I can say, hey, look at my skin. Yeah, I still got teenage acne, but it's a pretty good looking skin, right? But inside, it's hard for me to show like the supercomputer that's going on inside, right? That developed exopolitics as a new science, that discovered the omniverse and has written 3 books in it, that is working on a new book on the chronarchy. I mean, all these names are new. Exopolitics didn't exist before I developed that. The word, the omniverse, universe, multiverse, omniverse. The universe was discovered 3,500 years ago. The multiverse was discovered in 1895. The omniverse came into being in 2014 with my book. You see what I'm saying? And now the chronarchy, which is the secret time travel government, that is a neologism, as my colleague Andy Bashago says, which is a new word meaning the secret time travel government, those who, Chronos and Arcos, those who rule through time. So you can't show it, oh, look at my skin, because it's what's going on in your thoughts. So I was thinking to myself, well, how can I open up my mind? But no, I can say, look, the chronarchy, you have better thoughts, and you change the world through thoughts. 1,000 years from now, people are going to be talking about the omniverse, and people are going to be talking about the chronarchy, and people are going to be talking about exopolitics as accelerated by C60 Evo. You get it?
We are flattered.
That's cool.
No, seriously.
It really, I've heard the comment a lot from people that they're having a lot more calmness, mental clarity, mental focus. And at a time like this, oh my God, what a benefit. And it's not just during the day, but it's also deeper sleep. And I can tell when I forgot to take my olive oil. Chris has me hooked on my morning coffee, my silver bullet coffee. He did a few ingredients. Mine starts with honey, a tablespoon of honey.
First, it starts with the largest cup of coffee that you can find in most households that actually serve coffee.
I did impress him with the size. Well, because I only do 1 cup, so it's got to be, and ice cream, I only do a few scoops, but now I'm going to have to go get a coffee spoon so my scoops, can. Yeah. But my morning coffee starts with, I heat up my cup, of course, with boiling water, pour it out so my cup stays warm longer for that large amount, but always organic, everything. And I do a tablespoon of honey, a lot of shakes of cinnamon, the MCT coconut oil, and I do the grass-fed butter if I'm out of ghee. The coconut oil has made a difference because it perks me up more in the morning. And so when I forget to take my olive oil during the day, which sometimes I forget because it's hours before I eat after this monster coffee, I can tell because I don't sleep as well. when I take my organic olive oil, a tablespoon after, a few hours of doing it, the coconut in my coffee, it makes a difference. I sleep a lot better. So I'm noticing it. And some people comment, oh, it's kind of hard to get a spoon and I drip. And so we want to take it. We just rub it on your face as long as it doesn't go on the floor. If it's on your counter, wipe it up. I take it off my spoon. I never waste anything Evo. So I take it off my spoon and I rub it on my face. And I don't know how many of you have known me for years, but I used to have a lot of brown circles and I don't anymore. Every time I'm on camera here, I'm like looking, I don't have my glasses on, but my skin looks a heck of a lot better. And it's our new facial serum. We started by saying, if you spill it, put it on your face. And then I asked the guys at the lab, hey, this stuff really works on your skin. Can I please create a serum? So I worked with 2 different formulators. One is organic, natural, everything. And the other one is our lab scientist, a lady who owns her own lab and does formulations. But we came up with this incredible facial serum. And I probably will go public with my scars from skin cancer surgeries I've had in the last 2 years. But the improvement for me personally, I'm not making a medical claim. Chris is getting all pretty. I won't make medical claims because we can't, but I will say for me, I've taken photos every few weeks of the healing of my scars, which you can hardly see. You can hardly see this one or this one, which is like 2 inches long. Hard to see. And it's only been 4 months, 6 months. So I'm impressed. And I tell people to definitely give it a go. And our facial serum is blowing up. And it's kind of a neat gift because I was very impressed. The guys at the lab, Shelly and I, we do the designs of the labels, but they came up with this box. It's like a magic box. I love it. I love to consider maybe Christmas giving a lot of gifts, birthdays. It says revive, replenish, rejuvenate. And it's just a beautiful delivery. And again, that's 3 guys at the lab and a bunch of nice people. But for me, I'm always impressed when I get a shipment of anything. The 3 flavors, they come like this in a sampler set. 3 different colors. I mean, it's like a present every time I get my orders. And I order a lot because I use a lot, but I also like to share samples with people so that they can become as appreciative of the products and then get on it like I have a neighbor, and she said, my husband and I, we get up in the morning and we have this funny thing we do now, which they say, couples that do Evo together stay together. I thought that was so cute. Yes.
That is great. No, I hadn't heard that phrase before.
There's not enough couples taking it, And yesterday I was doing my ads with the lady that I do not ads, but they're postings. We do really fun postings on social media every day. But I got this great photo of a man and a woman facing each other in the gym, and they're both really athletic. And my statement, which I thought was the great one, was I said, make the statement, this is how she keeps up with him. And she went, Patty, this is how he keeps up with her.
but yeah, sorry.
No, yeah.
No, I just got this thought, which could or could not be true. I mean, it's a speculation, and Chris, of course, would want to have it tested. But you're talking about frequencies, and we all have frequencies in our various bodies. We have these etheric bodies and energy bodies, and I do believe that the carbon 60 increases your frequency of vibration, and so you go into an ascending frequency of vibration, which is in sympathy with the Schumann frequency of the planet, which is ascending as well. It's increasing as well. So you're actually ascending with the planet now, into the fourth and fifth density. There's a whole science to this. You're not descending down into the third density of war, disease, crime, and poverty, where all those bad people are going to work it out. You know, they're not quite ready for prime time. So, you know, to make a long story short, hey, 360evo.com is a tool for ascension, right?
You said 360.
That has not been tested yet.
Oh, I know. I know Chris would say that, but you're right.
I wanted to share every now and then I like to pull off some testimonials, and this was one. And the testimonial reads, "I wanted to share what an amazing product this has been for myself. I suffered from brain fog due to big work stresses in recent years, as well as a general lethargy. Seems to have helped with all this at least 80% in about 1 short month. I put it on my flat feet when I was sore after work for near instant relief, and chronic dark circles around my eyes are all but gone. First product that could even touch these issues." And that was from Planka in Canada. So, I mean, that is, you know, one of the joys that Patty and I have every day is to get the emails bragging about our customer service, bragging about the quality of our products, and bragging about the amazing stuff, you know, helped at least 80% in 1 short month. That's amazing.
Nice one.
Yeah, you know, and I really like to emphasize in these times that number one, you're dealing with a superfood that's going to make you more capable. You know, it's going to make you more capable, so you're going to have more opportunities to make income, to increase your work capacity, to do more work, etc. And from that point of view, you can get into this not that expensive. You can get into this at $75 a month by going in and see right under here. It doesn't say Alfred Lamont Weber, does it? It says C60.evo, C60evo.com/Alfred LW, because that's the entry door for getting into it. Then once you're in there, you enter the special code EVALW, that's 10%, and then you go in and you get a
Subscription.
a subscription, and that'll bring you in at $75 a month, which is not, and so that's going to bring you into the superfood.
Even less than 75, because the 10% is off of that on that first order is additional 10% off.
There you go.
Yeah.
So there's you know, there's a way to do this and to really enter in, because I believe that these are now being made available. These are new things that are being made available as we enter the higher densities. You know, I'm just putting it in a cosmological framework because I'm a cosmologist, so that's how I see things.
Well, I'm a cosmic girl from Boulder, Colorado, so I see things quite similarly. And, you know, the thing that I've noticed about when I started taking it and, you know, upgrading to the pure ESS 60 all the time has been a huge boost. But the detoxing that it's caused my system, there were a few times when I got scared when I saw things leave me that was like, is that a good or bad thing? And I think it's good, because all I've done is get healthier since I've been taking it. And I know on the calendar I'm getting older, but my body seems to be regressing. And because now I'm doing the facial serum a few times a day because I can, I'm seeing things coming out of my skin sometimes that are like impurities. And I spent 8 years, almost 10 years, on my back in a lot of crop circles in southern England. I made a bunch of movies, but I spent a lot of times in the fields. And this was before we knew that they were putting crappy stuff on the field that we shouldn't be laying in or eating, you know, but hopefully I didn't take in too much of that. But I'm seeing that there's interesting things in my pores, and they're coming out so effortlessly, and it's not like popping pimples, it's something else. And it's like, I'm, you know, you're almost 80, I'm in my 60s, and so I've had years, 50,000 miles on a Harley, no helmet, you know. So I'm surprised that my skin is coming back this quickly. But again, the detox process that I've gone through has impressed me. Periodically alarmed me, like, what the heck is that? You know, and again, the things coming out of me, my skin, I never had any issues, but I had somebody leave a vial of uranium to try and end my life for me. And I didn't die because I've been taking a lot of Evo, but my body had to push out a lot of that. And I think that's a lot of these little operations I've had to have to get stuff out of my skin, because I think that I'm just pushing everything that is not good for me out of my body. And I say that because I've watched it. I'm really impressed. And I also feel like a science experiment because I take more C60 Evo than most people, other than Chris, of course. And I don't believe that I've ever had a bad reaction, other than a little queasiness in the beginning because my intestines had so much work to clean up. Years and years of everything. So a little queasiness, small price, because then all of a sudden your system is almost like it had a roto-rooter go through it. That's what I said in my first year. I felt like I had a roto-rooter going through my system. On the other hand, I was doing a different product like you were, Alfred, and we won't mention the name, but perhaps there was stuff in there that caused the roto-rooter to be so intense. I don't know. I haven't had the products in years, those products, but I don't have the same issues now. I just know that detoxing is definitely part of cleaning your body so that we can move into the next density.
Yeah. Deborah Remington in the chat says, my brother's narcolepsy is gone thanks to C60. He's been on for 3 years, used different brands, but prefers C60 Evo.
Wow.
So there you go.
That's good.
You
I saw that
yeah.
Sharon commented on Facebook. Part of her comment was that you are not original with these formulas. Well, that is correct. Actually, none of the C60 or even ESS60, the higher quality version companies that exist, are the original formulators. This formula is born out of the original research. My company that I started back in 1991 was the company that provided the C60 to that company, and my company is actually mentioned in that original research. So if you're looking for the original formulators, I'm as close as you're going to get. Anything else would be the University of Paris and Dr. Musa and Bhatti.
Well, there's a lot of misinformation out, but I studied it a lot because it changed my life when I started taking it. And I am the luckiest business person I know, because my partners own the lab that's been making carbon 60 for 30 years with integrity, selling to research institutions around the world. And they know the difference between industrial grade C60, which they do sell for people making batteries, solar cells, industrial things. But we don't mix. And they even say no to people that want to sell it's cheaper because it's not pure, clean ESS60, which is safe for human consumption. They just said no to people that want to save money and sell to people when it's not what's supposed to be taken in. So I wanted to just do brief clarification of a couple terms that people have been scared of that Chris can clarify. A lot of people are learning that it may or may not be true. I'm being open-minded that the thing in the arm, the experimental jab, has graphene oxide. A lot of people are claiming that there's graphene oxide in that jab, and they're very scared because we know it's very toxic, or they're claiming it's very toxic. So people are saying, oh, well, C60, they don't say us, but C60, they're worried is connected to graphene oxide. So I'm going to let Chris clear that up, as well as nano. People don't know what the word nano means because nano means small, but Chris will explain, when people say nano, they think, and again, this is misinformation. People that don't know the research like Chris and Robert do, they're worried that we're doing AI, with the C60 and that we're, which we're not at all. So Chris, please hit them.
Yeah. So first, let's talk about graphene oxide and the differences. I'm actually not abreast of, is graphene oxide specifically dangerous? That'd be easy. Actually, I'll probably do that. I say later this week. That would be tomorrow since it's Friday. So I'll look into that. But whether it's dangerous or not, it really has no similarities to the actual buckyball, the actual ESS60 molecule that we sell in our products. If you imagine really what graphene is just one layer of graphite. So graphite is this just flat sheets of carbon atoms that are in a lattice. And if you take a piece of tape and peel off one of those flat sheets, you end up with what's called a graphene. If you further process that, you can make graphene oxide, which will have OHs and Os on top of that lattice. You compare that flat surface. So imagine something like a piece of paper to a ball bearing, right? The ball bearing is the ESS60 molecule. It's this molecule. It's in the shape of a soccer ball, where the lines on the soccer ball represent the bonds between the carbon atoms. So you have a spherical molecule of 60 carbon atoms. So from just a mechanical perspective in the nanosphere, so that just means, you're right, Patty, just means really tiny. You've got something that looks like a ball bearing that's round and has no ends available to be interacted with. And you've got a sheet of paper where the edges of the sheet of paper could run around cutting things or whatever. So they're two very different structures that really have nothing to do with each other. So don't worry about that. The other is the nano. People think in terms of nano and they're like, oh, it's a nanobot, and this nanobot is going to control something, or it's a way to communicate wavelengths. Well, it's actually nano, and it's actually literally this, again, soccer ball. There's only 60 atoms in it. That's 60 atoms. Think about the simplest cell that you have in your body. That simplest cell that's doing some potentially almost useless task. Let's talk about a skin cell. I mean, that does a lot important. Let's talk about like what goes into your nails. Those cells have 100 trillion atoms. This one has 60. That's like comparing a soccer ball to the planet in terms of scale. And actually, I don't think that's big enough. It's probably more like a soccer ball, to most of our universe. And so if you think about trying to accomplish what a simple cell does, and the fact that requires 100 trillion atoms, and you've only got 60 atoms in this molecule, you can come to understand that you're not building antennas, you're not building robots, you're not building any of that stuff with just 60 atoms. So I think that's the easiest way to look at in terms of nano. Thank you.
Yeah, misinformation, we just kind of want to keep it clear. And I love it that somebody asked if you were a copycat. That was a really wonderful question, because there really is only one lab that's manufacturing pure carbon 60, and that's Chris and Robert. So I feel really lucky that they're my partners, because it's the easiest thing I have ever sold in my life. I know it works. I'm a walking test pilot of it, and they do incredible work. I have not had one disappointment in the almost 2 years we've been in business together. I've been taking it a few years longer, but boy, was this an upgrade. And I love taking a product that I know is safe. What was the other word, Alfred? I am safe and?
Well, that it does wonders.
It does.
And I am safe.
And it feels safe.
Well, that's going to be my omen as well. It does wonders, and I am safe. And I really do feel safe. When people sneeze at the grocery store, I'll step away. I'm not stupid, but I don't walk around scared. And I have been apologizing to people that work in places where they have to wear the muzzle. I mean, this whole thing has just got to go. And my problem is my brain is so damn clear. that I can't ever like be blurry and go, oh, I'd love to put that on and, you know, walk into the bank, which I did an hour ago. You know, I'll acquiesce, but you know, my glasses are fogging up. I just kept pulling it down lower and lower. But, you know, when you walk into a restaurant, as soon as you sit down, you're not contagious, but while you're standing up, you are. Fascinates me. And my friend that just drove from Colorado to Ohio and back, 7 states, she said it wasn't until they got back to Denver and Boulder that the news was blaring this big pandemic and the mask and the mandates and the thing in the arm and oh my God. But in the other states, there wasn't a mention. There wasn't a sign on a gas station or a restaurant. In 7 different states between Colorado and Ohio, there was no pandemic. There was no virus. There was no forced this in the arm or, I mean, ridiculous. Come on. It doesn't make sense. And, you know, if only I'd stopped taking the C60 Evo, maybe it would make sense. Sorry. I love having a clear mind. And, you know, I'm older, but I feel like I'm getting younger. And yay, ESS 60, man, this stuff rocks. And my life is a better place, and I am safe.
I think Alfred's reading the long comment that just came in. That is fascinating.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
No.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I was trying to
process it.
I was trying to understand it, but I think I think it's fun. It has to do. Yeah.
And Grammy is actually asking for the link again, which is if you're looking at the screen, it's under Alfred.
Yeah, right here. Just go to c60evo.com, then /Alfred LW. That'll bring you in there. And then keep this code. And that is, I'm going to put it in there, EVALW, which is my initials. And that'll get you started. You'll have a 10% off, and then go for it. If you want to come in on the entry level, go to one of the either olive or coconut or the other.
We recommend the olive.
We recommend the olive, but you can get it for $75 or under $75 a month with a subscription, and that'll get you started. And you'll have such effects that you'll really start getting more traction in your life. You know, where the rubber meets the road, you'll start getting more traction. And this is a good time to have more traction in life, especially, you know, and it's a superfood that does wonders and keeps you safe.
Amen.
Deborah said that she tried the link and it wouldn't open. And I just tried it. It did. So just make sure you're typing out Alfred and then LW, and it is on the screen under him. And then also I like this clarification. We have amazing Google reviews. Go on subscription. Don't worry if you try the product and you don't like it, you can cancel it at any time. It's super easy. Our staff is not trained to talk you out of it. We want you to take advantage of that discount.
And the reason we mention that we always recommend the olive oil is because it holds 0.86 milligrams per milliliters. And we test every batch that goes out of the lab. So when we say it, we mean it. The avocado oil holds 0.6. Coconut oil, MCT, organic coconut oil, even ours, only holds 0.35 milligrams per milliliters. So less than half in the MCT, nice buzz for the morning coffee. But it's not going to get me going all day long. So I love that Chris, got me going. Of course, now I have to order more bottles for me, but no problem. I love it to death. And he does all 3. I haven't done much of the avocado because if I want to bump, I'm going to go for the olive oil. And like I said, I've never been an olive oil person. I don't like vinegar. but this stuff works. And I take it graciously on a tablespoon every day. And I'm reminding you, if you don't get the facial serum, which is fine, wipe it off your spoon, put it on your face, and you will see benefits. I have to admit, I'm having so much fun watching the orders come in, because now that we've been doing it and promoting all the different products, every sale is like 3 to 5 to 6 items. I mean, people are putting together so many things, and I don't know if it's because people are stocking up, you know, concerned about what might happen, shipping might shut down, who knows. But today's been an amazing day for big bottles. And if you sign up for a subscription on our website, I mean a subscription to our email, once a month we do a special subscribers only deal. And a lot of times it's for the big bottles, where you buy 2, get 1 free. Right now we're running a special on the facial serum, buy 2, get 1 half off. It's not free, it's half off for the 3rd one. But we're always running specials if you sign up as a subscriber, and that's at the bottom of the home page. Now, if you forget Alfred's link, or if it doesn't work, simply go to c60evo.com. But when you check out, use Alfred's code to get your special 10% off whatever it is you buy. No matter how many discounts are in it, you get another 10% off your first order with EV for Evo, and then Alfred's initials, ALW. So even if you don't go to the long link, if you can't get in, c60evo.com, and when you check out, make sure and use Alfred's code to save more. Thank you, Alfred.
Now, Carol Cornuck says, do you send overseas?
All the time.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Carol Cornuck asked, do you send overseas?
All the time.
Yeah, we send overseas regularly.
We've got a lot of people in Australia that buy. Recently, we had Taiwan, Hong Kong. We sell pretty much everywhere. The only place I think we have an issue is Greece. They don't let us send olive oil to Greece because they have olive oil, even though ours has ESS60. And I think Brazil has a limitation, but short of that, every country we ship all the time. And quickly. I've had surprising notes from people in Australia. How'd you do it 3 days? Like they get it in 3 days. Some people not so lucky, but I've seen really surprising fast shipment out of our lab in Texas.
The team is amazing.
Any other questions? I'm not watching the chat. I have to stay focused.
I'm not sure, but Grammy says, Grammy Anon says, you don't have proprietary secret ingredients, do you? I don't quite understand that one.
Yeah, well, I think if I'm getting the gist of the question, we're about transparency, and like we have the highest quality. Well, we're the largest manufacturer and distributor of ESS60 on the planet. So if you're consuming ESS60, again, that's C60 that's been processed for safer human consumption. You're consuming it from our lab. That's a fact. And then it's, just olive oil. It's a high quality extra virgin olive oil is the product we recommend. And Patty talked about the concentrations. The other reason that we recommend the olive oil is because we're a science-based institution, and that's where the science is. Like the research is done on ESS60 and olive oil. It's not done on ESS60 and MCT, ESS60 and avocado. There's a lot of reasons to believe that some of the benefits will still be there. And if you understand that the benefits in those initial studies, those studies where the rats live 90% longer than the control group, if those are coming from ESS60, then having a reduced concentration of ESS60 in either the avocado or even worse, that purple MCT stuff, that's where you want to choose the olive oil.
And I think that companies that are highly promoting MCT C60 haven't done the research. If they are claiming that that's the best, they don't realize it holds half the carbon 60 that olive oil does, and almost half of what you find in avocado oil. So, again, for anything I put in my body or give to a dog or a cat that I love, I want to buy it from a lab where they know what they're doing. And we pray for the other companies that are competing. that they can up their game and be able to create really healthy, good products. You know, we want the market to be great, but I don't feel like there's much competition when it comes to quality when you're buying from the lab that's been making it for 30 years.
Okay, well, we're a little more than our usual 60-minute mark. Are there any things that you wanted to bring up that you haven't to date, or?
No, but I will say I did get a surprising bump of energy. I accidentally, I didn't go get a spoon. I just tipped the bottle. So I got a pretty good dose in my mouth of my big bottle. But I feel incredibly like bright right now. I feel like I'm going to have to go do something. You know, now we've done the show, but I'm like wired. And I've been up at 5:30.
You know, this is the frequency. See, it's a frequency. It's telepathic and it's a frequency, and it doesn't matter a distance. This is transmission. This is science. This is actual science that can verify telepathy, can verify the transmission of frequencies, energy frequency among people over distances. And so by my mind, I would hypothesize that especially C60 Evo, because it's a very pure form, sustains and supports the communication form, the human communication form of the future, which is telepathy. And you're feeling telepathic energy, which is coming forward. These are my hypotheses. Anyway.
Well, since the three of us are all wired up, let's send it out to the audience. We're sending you.
Right, we're sending you lots of telepathy.
Of the SS60. We're sending
lots of telepathy.
Right? Come on, Chris.
I'm good. So well, I do want to wrap up. This is one testimonial we pulled off of a video I was on. It's a C60 Evo is a wonderful product for both humans and animals. It truly is amazing. And not to sound crude, but 1 teaspoon of C60 Evo is so energizing. It feels like an orgasm throughout your body. I think that's appropriate for how we're wrapping this up.
Wow.
My Bichon gets a teaspoon in each of their meals, and they start twirling in circles, known as the Bichon Blitz. I prefer the coconut oil because the olive oil tastes nasty to me. That's fine. That's why we have that product available. What I love about dog testimonials, like they're not doing the Bichon Blitz because their owner gave them something, right? They're giving it because that's how they feel. They feel that, I don't know, orgasm throughout their body and are expressing that. And I think that's a good place to wrap up.
That is a great place to wrap up.
Exactly. And Granny Anon says, moving into 5D, received.
Amen.
Amen. So thank you very much all, and thank you out in the chat. And until next time, and please stay with us, Chris and Patty, so we can schedule that next time. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.